Down. All right, guys, we're gonna get ready to get started here.
Hey, that's up to you.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
We have all of our parts and pieces moving in the right direction. We got everybody in the room that needs to be here. All right. We got special guests, I think they're still hanging out in the hallway, so we might need to go get them.
Yeah, I'm excited about our special guest.
Yeah. So, tell me something good. What's going on? Give me some good news. What's shaking? Are you busy?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Okay, Kathy said she's busy. She's the only one that's busy?
No, I'm busy. Another couple.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys last month of January, y'all took a ton of listings. In fact, you took about 40% more listings than you did last January.
Wow.
That- You guys took, we looked about 90 listings. Now, inventory is picking up. We've seen that, right? We looked at the chart master data. Inventory is picking up. What does that mean? What does it mean when inventory is picking up?
More competition.
More supply, more competition. What do we do as realtors? We get busy, yeah. Now we've got some inventory that we can actually sell.
We require our no kind of.
Oh, yes, we reconnect with our sellers, we reconnect with our buyers. All of a sudden, our buyers, they have more options, right? We also have to have a lot of skills when we have more competition, don't we? We have to start now, houses don't sell at will, so we have to be a little bit more strategic in how we approach the market. So that's what we should be working on right now. Like I see inventory really building, which is a good thing because we got to have houses to sell, but we also don't want them to sit on the market forever, right? So keep leaning in, keep coming into the market center, keep attending those classes. Keep sharing your wins on that morning call, the Mastering the Market of the Moment. Join us for that so we can keep track of what's going on in the Atlanta market together and we can help each other get further faster. So I'm super excited to be here today. We've got a great team meeting for you, which is really about introducing you or reintroducing you to some humans. Some humans that I've known for a really long time. And they're new leaders in Roswell. And yet today, I really don't want to convince you of their leadership skills because their behavior will do that. I really want you to connect with them on a human element. I want you to know their story. I want you to know their experiences. And I want you to know why they came to be Roswell, right? And I want you to know what are they going to do here, right? I want you to hear a little bit about that. So this is somewhat unprecedented. We actually don't typically see husband and wife work together, but we're super excited. Yeah. Some do it better than others. Right? And yet we know this is a model that works, right? And the reason that it works is because you've got equally yoked people that are all pulling in the same direction and they want the same thing, right? And sometimes as teams, it is hard. Everybody has different things that they want. But when you're leading from the top, it sure is nice to know somebody is right next to you and they want the same thing for you that they want for themselves. So there's been a lot of alignment around this. And I know change is tough. I mean, nobody likes change. I can assure you, I hate it more than anybody because I'm a high S personality and that's just what we do for a living. We hate change. And yet I'm really excited about this as a win for Roswell. I think we've got some really awesome people in Roswell, clearly that care about the success and the growth of Roswell. And I think now we've got people that share that with us, and that want to help us grow. So the other housekeeping piece here that I want you to be aware of is that McMichael and Gray has an event at 12 o'clock. And some of you are going to stampede out the door at about 11:30 to go to that event, which I'm not mad at you for that. However, I just want everybody else to know that our team meeting is not bad. We've just got people that want to leave, okay? So, that's okay. If you need to leave, just, grab your things quietly and pick up and go. It was somewhat bad timing and they knew that. However, they've got a really great bit of value that they're providing for agents today. So let me just introduce you to these folks. Let's start with Jaycie Mirabella. Jaycie, come up here and join us. So I want to get the whole story with Jaycie because she's got a lot for us, right? She's got a lot that she's going to share with us today. And I will probably talk to you for a minute and then I'll let him interject a little bit.
Okay,
And then I'm going to put him on the hot seat and let you interject.
that sounds great.
Okay. So Jaycie will be joining us as our new director of growth within Roswell. And this is a new opportunity for Jaycie. And we'll talk about how we kind of arrived at this opportunity for her. But I don't think we could talk about, yeah, all right, that's all right. We're just glad to have him. We'll take it.
Yeah.
And then join me, Nate. So I want you to meet Nate Mirabella. Some of you remember Nate. You attended a class that Nate taught in the Market Center. Y'all have a seat.
Yeah.
Attended a class that Nate taught about a year ago. I think last week was actually a year ago. And we're gonna talk a little bit about that class and why Nate is so passionate about that particular topic. And I just want you to get to know them. At the end of it, we can have a little bit of Q&A. But I want you to know that this is really not their vision casting team meeting. That'll be next week. I just wanted to concentrate on them and their story today. So thanks for giving me an opportunity to do this. We were going to do it next week. And I was like, I would rather let's go ahead and do it, right? And they were ready and we appreciate them for being here. So, all right, gang. First of all, since you guys are husband and wife, and like we said, this is somewhat unique and not a lot of people do this well. How did you guys meet? Like tell us the story. What was the love connection? How did you guys meet?
Oh, y'all aren't gonna believe where we actually met. 7th grade, middle school.
What? 7th grade?
We've known each other since 7th grade, yes.
Yeah.
Fayette Middle School, yeah,
We
Yeah.
grew up in the same town.
yeah, we did. And we didn't really start dating till like after college years and things like that.
But we
But
have known one another
we've
for
known each
that
other
long.
since 7th grade.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think we were gonna go back that. All right, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So you must really like each other.
I guess, yeah.
we do.
We were really good friends all through middle school and high school and years after, and then after college, we reconnected and that's when we started dating. So we had like a very strong friendship foundation.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
good. Well, that helps.
it does help. It does help.
So let's fast forward from the 7th grade to real estate. Now, Jaycie, you joined Keller Williams Peachtree Road in what year?
2009.
2009. Now, what attracted you to KW in 2009? Because that was the first place you went, right?
It's the first and only place I went, really.
Yeah.
My background has always been in sales. So it was pharmaceutical sales before real estate. Then I had a baby and I was like, oh my goodness, I've got to figure out something that's more flexible. And, I just started to think, gosh, maybe that's real estate. So I got licensed and I had a good friend that was at Keller Williams Peachtree Road. And she said, you should come meet with my team leader. And it was Brad Feynman. So I don't know if any of y'all know him, but
He's a mess.
I still have my MREA book that he signed. He just like immediately we just hit it off and I thought, well, I wouldn't go anywhere else. So so I started at Keller Williams Peachtree Road and then shortly after was introduced to you and Leslie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, we should talk about that too.
yeah.
So 2009-ish, 10-ish, right?
Mhm.
Leslie and I, Peter's company had kind of just came into being
Yeah.
and we had not even hired our first
Mhm.
admin.
Yeah.
Everybody, there's blood in the streets, like everybody was getting out of real estate.
Yes.
And somebody said, you need some leverage, right?
Yeah.
And we were connected by Brad, I think, at
Yeah.
that moment.
Mhm.
And you started doing some showings for us and some admin work and, I mean, it was kind of love at first sight, right?
It
Like
was
we did a lot of things together. I guess we worked together for maybe a year.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, the way, and I remember Leslie was maybe going out on maternity leave or
Yeah.
something, so you needed definitely extra leverage. And I was so new, and I just remember thinking, I have no idea what I'm doing, and these people seem like they really know what they're doing, so I'm just gonna I'll do anything y'all want me to do. So I wasn't even necessarily on the team, because
Yeah.
we didn't really even have a team at that
Yeah.
time. But I just said yes to everything that they were like, can you do this? Can you do that? And I'm sure I butchered a lot of it, but, I always say, I credit that first year being able to work alongside them to my success, to being able to make it through and really have success in real estate. That's why I think alignment is so important with people in this business. Out of the gate, if you're aligned with the right people, you'll just find
Yeah. So you had a pretty good introduction to KW.
Yeah.
In a pretty difficult time, right? Like that was
Yes.
2009, probably to you seemed like a great time to get into real estate. And for most people it wasn't.
It wasn't because what made it good, it was tough, I guess. I didn't know anything else. So all the seasoned agents were learning about short sales and foreclosures and if there were things that they had never heard of. So I felt like we were kind of all learning together. And then once the market started to turn, I'm like, wait a minute, this is way better, So it's I feel like entering at that time actually was a really good thing for me. It helped me, so.
So while she's going through this experience with KW,
Mhm.
what are you doing at this time?
Yeah, so I was running a sales territory for a manufacturing company. And I'll describe it as it was kind of like a drink the Kool-Aid type company. But
We're used to that.
yeah, exactly. Well, and I've always, I think we'll talk about this in a little bit later, but you always have these brands in your mind or companies in your mind, like the Disneys, the Chick-fil-A's. Keller Williams for me has always been at that level, right? Just in terms of the leadership, both at the high level and the local levels. So for me, it's always kind of been I don't know if there will be an opportunity where my career will intersect with Keller Williams, but I would definitely be open to it, right? That's kind of how I've always felt.
Yeah.
KW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so at some point, you actually started showing some interest in real estate too, right?
Yeah. So as any good husband would do, right? It's I got licensed to help her.
Sure.
It's
I'm familiar with that.
yeah,
I was just losing my mind. He was like,
Yeah.
I'll get licensed, I can help.
Yeah, and it's again, I was working for an organization that I was passionate about and wanted to give her leverage because at the time she wasn't hey, I don't want to onboard somebody full time. So whether it was open houses, showings, things like that, I got just to pitch in and help, right, in the family business.
Sure. So tell us about the dream then. What was going through y'all's head as a family, as a couple? Jaycie's in real estate, you're kind of dabbling. What did you foresee? What did you want to happen?
Do you want me to answer that, or do you want to?
What talking arm wrestle?
Yeah. Well, we had a vision for our family to live in a community and stay in a community while our kids were going through school. And that was really kind of our big why. And it's here we are, our son's a junior at Roswell High School, and our daughter's an 8th grader at Elkins Point Middle. And we're starting to see, not just fruit, but it's almost over, it's really wild. And we've really lived that vision out. Stability was a big value for us.
It was the
as a
first
family.
vision that we set together early on. It was we just identified this is super important to us for different reasons.
Yeah.
From where we were coming from, but just to get into a community and stay there K through 12 and just really build a life in that community was so important to us. And it's like amazing to see it, you know, that vision come to life. I think we always knew that we wanted to like go into business together, but I don't know that we were ever really sure when that was going to be full-time, when that was going to be, what it was going to look like. And, yeah, I was like, we knew, but you were getting so much valuable experience like elsewhere. And so it was like, it just never really, and so now to see that kind of coming together is really cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So when you made this decision to kind of go deep into the community, specifically Roswell, and you moved to KW Roswell, and you moved from Peachtree Road and you went to KW Roswell, like, tell us about that. Like, what was that transition like?
Mhm.
What attracted you to KW Roswell?
Well, we moved to we moved to Roswell, from Smyrna. And so I don't know, I just never even occurred to me that I would do anything else. And then I guess I called Denise and hi, I'm coming to the office. Hopefully you'll take me. And then, of course, we had an amazing, first meeting and I just, like, from the day I came, the culture was great. So it was like, just immediately, this is where I'm gonna go. I didn't even consider another option. I was just like, well, I'm in this community and, you know, here I am. And of course Denise was leading at that time and that was amazing.
So would you say you became more involved in KW after you moved to Roswell?
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So what did you do? Like, how are you seen here once you made that move?
So once both of our kids were in school is really when I felt like I was able to like give more time into my career. So that's when I was really feel like I went more full-time like into real estate. I've done a ton of things here, but you know, ALC, obviously built the business that we have, which has been incredible. And just, you know, I feel like, well, we'll get to that, but the last few years have been a little bit different for me, just because personally, some things have gone on in my life, but just being, you know, more connected, more involved, like more of a full-time job, I would say, like
Right.
since our career, since
Yeah.
the kiddos went to school.
So, I mean, there's a lot of people here that probably don't know all the things that you went through personally. And I think we should talk about that because I think that's a pretty valuable part of your story. So walk us through this health scare that you had and that you guys had to walk through together. What did that look like?
Yeah, well, I guess I can talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. Of course.
So we were like rocking and rolling, you know, business was good, kids are good, everything's good. Then 2020 hit. I don't know if y'all, you know, COVID, that was obviously a terrible year for all of us. And then just as we were coming out of that into 2021, and I love the new year, and I'm like, this is finally a new year, like let's put COVID behind us. Through a routine doctor visit, I found out I had breast cancer. No cancer in my family, like really no risk factors. To say it was a shock is an understatement. And then we began to navigate just the world of diagnosis and treatment. And it's just, it completely turned our world upside down. So I began first of like 5 surgeries, chemotherapy, all while, and looking back on it now, gosh, it's like a blur, but I was like, my solution to this is that we're just gonna power through it. Like I'm getting through this. And then and I did get through it and I'm cancer free now. I had a 4th grader and an 8th grader at the time. I had a surgery go sideways and almost died in surgery. I mean, it was very traumatic year looking back. But you know, all the while, like my focus was just like the finish line and just like getting through it. And I'm just so grateful that I did. And this Market Center showed up, like you guys, I mean, it was incredible, like food, notes, gifts, like, what do you need? How can I help you in the business? Sarah stepped in. I mean, I was in the hospital. This is so bad. Don't do this. I was in the hospital bed saying, we have to make the offers. We have to make, they're gonna lose the house. I was yelling at Nate. He's like,
I'm trying to work. with
he's like
you.
on the phone with Sarah Sloan and, she stepped up and she got them the house. So it was fine, but,
Thank you, Sarah.
yeah. Oh, you are. Great. Yeah, so anyway, that changed the trajectory of our lives. It wasn't until probably this past year that we realized like how, because I think you think like, okay, I'm gonna get through this and then life's gonna go on, but that just isn't what happens. Then like all like it really starts to hit you like, oh my gosh, we just went through this. How do we get through this? What if this happens again? And then you're just like crazy or at least I was for 2 years.
Wow.
So yeah.
What was going through your head during this?
A million things. And we'll get to our vision casting for kind of what we see for the market center another time. But a big part of it's authenticity.
Yeah.
So I wish I could sit here and say I was the freaking rock for Jaycie. You know, I had a really tough time when she got diagnosed and was going through that. You know, as a man, we're wired to fix things. And when you can't, that's very hard. And, you know, I experienced some anxiety, some depression. I had a really tough time. But it's, you know, you guys really showed up for us. There's some of you, Oscar, you introduced yourself to me today, but I remember you standing at my front door. I think it was a pie of some sort. And you're just like, it was like, you didn't know what to do, right? But you're like, here's a pie. You know?
It was so good.
And I'm gonna try to not get emotional when I'm talking about this, but that's you had an impact on us, and we never forgotten that. And I think as Andy and I started to have conversations around leadership and Roswell, I'm like, that has to be the path, you know. We've been connected with you guys for so many years, and you showed up when we needed you the most. You know?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying not to.
No, that's good. You're gonna make me cry. What about, I mean, these are obviously fond memories. Are there any other fond memories of KW Roswell that you reflect upon favorably that are worth mentioning?
I mean, I've met some of my best friends here. So that for sure.
Yeah.
Ironically in bold, but it's just kind of funny. I just remember there's like things that stick out that were like funny about those classes, but yeah, and I just think you know, getting together for Thanksgiving and awards, Christmas and awards, and just the friendships that I've made are probably what stick with me the most. I feel like we have like a unique group of people here, and I'm grateful for the friendships I've made.
Yeah. So we already talked about your health scare, but you also had a little bit of an identity scare last year. So all of a sudden I hear Jaycie's leaving Keller Williams.
That might be mine.
Right?
Yeah, I'm like you.
Yeah. So walk us through that. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, we know everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Hey, walk us through what was going through your
All
mind.
grace.
Why did that happen, and what did you learn from that experience?
Well, I just want to say thank you for your grace. I think I texted Andy, I was like, sorry for my temporary insanity. Like I told y'all, I had never been anywhere but KW. And I don't know, I've just been through so much, and I was like, well, maybe I just need to try something different. You know, maybe I just need to try something different. I'm kind of stuck in a rut. I can't figure out what it is. I'm not like so excited every day to go sell houses. Like maybe I just need to, you know, it was really like my own personal issue, but I was like, maybe it's the new brokerage is gonna fix this.
Sure.
So off I went, and within like, I mean, maybe not even a week, I was like, oh no, I've made a huge mistake. I've made a huge mistake. And it was then that I learned, how much I value good leadership. Like, I mean, when I am aligned with someone, I will man, I will do everything that they ask of me. Like, I will work so hard, but if I am not in alignment, I learned very quickly, it's not gonna work. So I just learned really quickly, I was like, the values and the people at KW is like, that's where I was supposed to be, and that I was at the right place all along, but just needed I needed to be reminded of that, so.
I mean, I would say that as painful as that was.
Yeah.
I think that experience also kind of gives you a little bit more insight into what all these folks go through,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we have more competition now than we've ever had. Like, you all get phone calls every month, maybe every week.
Text messages.
Text
Yeah.
messages, right? You get tempted all the time.
Yeah.
People, are constantly recruited.
Yes,
And I do think that perspective is very valuable.
Yeah.
Moving into leadership now, because you understand these thoughts go through everybody's head, right?
yeah, and I think it changed, it made me even want to go into leadership even more, once I realized the value of what leadership is really doing for us as agents. It was so eye-opening. I do think I hadn't been anywhere else, so I just really had no other perspective, and it was really interesting to get that. Through that process, I sat down with several local brokerages, so I really got to see.
I heard.
Yeah, well, thanks for not holding that against me. But I do think it's given me a new perspective that I needed. Sometimes we just, we do things like that. And it's like, okay, well, the grass was not greener, and I have been at the right place all along, and it's just made me more grateful for what we have here.
Yeah. I want to go back to the kids for a second, because I know they're a big part of your story. Tell us about the kids. What do you guys do together with them? What are they into? What does your life look like these days?
Let me take that one. Oh, I guess it's still my turn. Okay. Okay, our kids. All right. Bye, y'all. Have fun. Bye.
Good.
Okay, our kids are, we have two kids. One is 17. I can't even believe I'm saying this out loud, but he will be 18 this year, and he is a junior at Roswell High School. Our daughter is in 8th grade, and she's 13. She'll be 14 in the summer. They are just awesome and so fun, and I mean, everything you do is for them, and we love them so much. He plays football at Roswell High School, and she plays lacrosse, so that's our sports. They're both super social and love their friends, and they're those typical teenagers.
That's awesome. Dad, son guitar work.
Oh, yeah.
On Facebook that I was very, very encouraged. Yes, yeah.
That's, music's been a part of my life, pretty much my entire life. My mom's a piano teacher, and my son has picked up that gift as well. So in addition to being a football player, he's also very into music and really has a gift that he's exploring, which is really exciting for us to see, because as a parent, you just want to see your kids thriving in their gifts, right? So in Demi, that girl is a future KW powerhouse.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm telling you, she is,
It's very hard to parent.
it is very challenging to parent, but she is, you guys will probably meet her at some point. She'll come through the office, but she's just, she's a delight and, knows what she wants.
So you can recruit people to your team, or you can birth them.
That's right. Yeah.
From the beginning, I'm like,
We're
I'm
learning
gonna
that.
take over this whole thing, here.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, they see you guys working hard towards something, and they aspire to do the same thing. But before we pivot to Nate, I would love for you to share, Jaycie, what can people expect from you as a leader within the office? What can they expect from you?
I'm excited to just partner with you guys and just offer help in any capacity that you need. I love helping people achieve what they want to achieve. So my goal is to really just get aligned with you on that, and just encourage, support, help, be there for whatever this office needs to help, just like elevate it and get us where we're at.
Yeah. So let's pivot to Nate.
Yeah.
Tell us about your leadership journey, like how'd you get here?
Yeah, I have always been a natural encourager and an eternal optimist, you know. I don't think you can be an optimist to a fault. I think there's always space for optimism, even when you're going through really challenging things and circumstances in your life. And I'll never forget, this is the importance of speaking life into people. I had someone early on in my sales career, I was sitting across the desk from a customer. I think I was given a pitch, and he stopped me and he looked me in the eye. He said, "Every time you come here, I feel inspired." And it was one of those, I'm a person of faith. I think it was a nudge that, hey, whatever path you take, leadership is going to be a part of it. And I've never forgotten that. That was, I don't know, over 15 years ago. And I love the ability to look someone in the eye and see something in them and help them bring it out of themselves. And professionally, you know, I've had leadership roles at North Point Ministries, and the role I'm actually finishing off right now is, you know, leading a marketing team with a manufacturing company. But I think my leadership journey started with someone looking me in the face and saying, "I see this," you know, and I think I'm so thankful for that guy, you know, that saw something in me. So, yeah.
I mean, somebody saw something in you, and sometimes we call that mentorship, right? Who poured into you and helped you along this path? Who do you consider to be your strongest mentors?
Yeah, you always, you have people that you connect with and see things in you. I think my father, who is a retired minister, is kind of like my source of stability and wisdom. And what's so cool is Jaycie's dad is a retired executive. So like from a career perspective and financial perspective, he's like, you know, he's like my go-to kind of, you know, with life stuff. And then you know, I've had bosses, you know, that I've really connected with, but I really have a tight circle of dear friends who are not scared to tell me things that they see, and they give me kind of the right to do the same. Typically have breakfast on Fridays, you know, and so between dads and dear friends, those are some of my closest mentors.
Nice.
So, yeah,
They know you pretty well.
yeah.
How would you describe your leadership style, but how would other people describe your leadership style?
My hope is that they would say transformational. And what I mean by that is, you know, I love creating things, ideas, you know, and then galvanizing, which is essentially, here's the thing we're going after. Let's go after it together. You know, that'll be my hope here at a meeting in the near future, is cast the vision for where we want to go as a market center. And then let's all get there together. I do like to serve as well. I mean, that's, you know, I spent a season in full-time ministry where service was a huge part of what we did. So just helping people feel seen and loved and encouraged. Hopefully that's what people would say, you know?
Yeah, well, I've seen that for sure. So you taught for us a year ago. We talked about this earlier, but it was a subject that was very near to your heart, and the reviews were amazing for it. Tell us about that message that you delivered that day, and why was that so important to you?
Yeah, it's really interesting. So I shared with you my really challenging season with anxiety and depression when Jaycie was going through her cancer journey. And you know, when you go through something like that, it takes some time to process and you learn. And you know, I was actually here in the market center one day. This was when Robin was running point. We just kind of had a casual conversation, and this was in a season when I don't know, I would just overshare, like literally overshare, where people are like, okay, dude, like that's, you crossed the line. But Robin was like, she was tracking with me in lockstep, and she was like, hey, will you come talk to the market center about your experience with anxiety and depression? And I had actually started having conversations around this and started a podcast. I really think it was part of a healing journey for me. But I had the fortune of kind of sharing, you know, my experience, and then all of the tactics I kind of developed to what I'll say, dig out. And I truly believe we're in a service business. And I truly believe that you serve best from the most whole version of yourself. And that was really what the talk was about, is, you know, the tactics to be your whole, you know, self, and to serve from that place, because our clients, our customers, our families, they need us to be the best version of ourselves. So that's what the talk was about. And it's actually, Jaycie sent me a picture from that talk. It was in here a year ago. And I'll say this as well. Robin looked at me in the face. This was another one of those moments. And she said, you're in your zone. And to look back on that, I could have had no idea we would end up here, you know, as serving you guys as leaders in the market center, you know, but maybe that's what she meant.
It's a guideline, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, 4 months ago, somewhere down the line, you called me. And I remember when you called me, it was like, oh, Nate Mirabella's calling me. Well, everything's okay, right? And we had a conversation, and it was a great conversation. And you shared some things with me about what you were looking for, right? That you were going to be making a change. Can you share with everybody, like, what led to that, and kind of, you know, what that conversation was all about?
Absolutely. Thank you for taking that call.
Yeah,
By the way,
excited to take that call.
Maybe a lot going on. So I was in a season of my career where our organization had been purchased by a private equity group. And those experiences can be great for some people. It was not great for me in the seat that I sit in. And it was one of those things where our culture, which was really good, really the kind of the soul got stripped from the organization in a pretty short period of time. And, you know, you've said this so many times, and I've heard you say it, life isn't a dress rehearsal, right? It's like, if I don't feel like I'm rowing in the same direction as the people that are leading me, it's like, what are we doing? You know, what are we doing? So the call to you was, I watched you row in a direction for 15 years. And if I'm looking for that next step, you know, in terms of leadership or partnering with an organization, you were on a very small list of people, you know, that I called. I could have never foreseen this, you know, this day would ultimately come. But you were just so helpful, and just, you know, kind of helping me unpack, and, you know, you spoke some life into me at that time as well. And, you know, I think KW as an organization is amazing, but, like, you know, we've already kind of started some coaching calls, and what people outside of GLG refer to GLG as is kind of the gold standard.
Yeah.
And that's not lost on us, that Jaycie and I are stepping into, you know, something you guys and you have really built. I've given you guys, it's unbelievable. And that's a long answer. But the reason for my call was, hey, I'm not rowing in the same direction as my leaders anymore. We call Andy, because I know what direction he's rowing in, and I think I could do that.
I'm glad you made that call. And that was a good conversation. It was exciting. You know, when you get off a phone call sometime, it's like, you're doing this, you know, nobody can see you, but you're doing this. That was kind of that. So when conversations started shifting towards the possibility of you two working together, what what was the internal conversation that was going on in the Mirabella home? And what was going through your head at this, with those opportunities?
You wanna speak into that?
Yeah, I think once we started to really see what that could look like and the vision, it just, we were like, yes, this is like, I mean, we just felt in alignment on that. I mean, yeah.
Jaycie is an amazing human being.
Uh-oh.
And we have always had in the back of our mind, we'll probably go into business together at some point, you know. Whether that's start, you know, like
Mhm.
full on, let's start a team. And when all this was happening with my organization I'm pivoting away from, that was on the table.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's just go, let's just 100%. But I think the leadership component and having the ability to lead together was just too exciting.
Well, and we
mean,
I think we started to feel more called in this direction.
Yeah,
It was like, we had all these different ideas and possibilities, but it was like, we just felt, both of us felt like, yeah, like this is the direction we're moving in.
yeah,
And then, you know, Loredana and those, like, it was just, it all felt like it connected.
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
So it's a lot of change and it's a big opportunity.
Yeah.
What's your biggest fear in all of this? Speaking of transparency, right? What's your
Yeah.
biggest fear in all of this?
Which sign do we have?
Fear's the great motivator.
That's right. I mean, I think what we share, we can be authentic in this room, right? We can have real conversations in this room. How long is the shift gonna last?
Mhm.
You know, I mean, it's been tough out there. That's okay. We can acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge that to move forward, right? I think there's that. I think it's a big transition for our family. You know, I've worked from home, you know, for the last long time. You've kind of worked from home.
Yeah,
Um,
finding a new rhythm and we thrive on schedules. So just like getting into that rhythm, I think we're like ready to find that, and just leading well. I mean, doing what we are here to do.
yeah, yeah. So I think those are the two big ones. You know, just, you know, where's this all headed and kind of some new family rhythms.
Sure.
Maybe just a little bit of the fear of the unknown.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We probably don't even know what we're scared of.
Yeah, we don't know. That's us. We'll let y'all know in like 3 weeks.
We'll get back to you next week.
Now,
Yeah.
next month, I'll be like, here's all the fears.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you always have them. I mean, you're always moving. I mean, just like the market changes, your journey changes, right? Your circumstances change. So there's always new things that pop up.
Yeah.
One thing's for certain though, is that there's always opportunity,
Yes.
right? And there's always opportunity for those that can harness the fear and search out, find somebody maybe that's done something that you haven't done before, learn from them, implement it better than they did. It's always out there. So what does winning look like to you guys? Like when you think about winning in this role, what does that look like?
You're getting ahead of me a little bit in terms of casting the vision.
I know, sorry.
But I think it's a great question. I mean, we have some big goals for Roswell. I mean, our friends in North Atlanta are killing it right now.
Yeah.
They're number one in the US. That's amazing.
Yeah.
There's no reason they can't be number two.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I do think, you know, you hear professional athletes that get interviewed, you know, after they've won a championship or how do they maintain a certain level of success? I think Jaycie and I are trying to visualize that, like literally, you know, there's a PDF that shows market centers and how they rank. And I think the way we get there is together. There's no way Jaycie and I, you know, we're just two people, right? It's like, but we have an amazingly talented group of individuals here. And we'll do all the vision casting soon about where we're gonna go and how we're gonna get there. But we want to be an MREA office. And what that means is there's $1 million in profit shared with the people in this room,
Yeah.
you know, and that's where we want to go. That's what
Yeah.
winning looks like.
I love
Yeah.
it.
It's,
Yeah, helping y'all, I mean, helping the agents get, you know, where they want to be and then like everyone's rising together, you know,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
that'd be really cool.
I think that's right where everybody would hope you land. You share $1 million with profitability with
Yes,
everybody.
absolutely.
I don't know that you could ask for a whole lot more. So I know we talked about John Maxwell last night, and I've been a study of his for a long time, and recently got a chance to meet him, and we talked about that a little bit last night. And one of the things that John said was, at the end of your life, everybody will probably sum up your life in one sentence. That's the humanity, and our job really is to figure out what that sentence is gonna be right now, right? What would you say? What's your sentence? What do you want people to say about you?
Do you want to take on first?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to put my sentence in concrete yet, but I'll, I want people to remember me or say that I saw the potential in them and helped them in some way get or achieve something that they wanted. Like, I hope that I have helped others and always saw the best in other people, because that to me is so important. It's just something that I find myself being like a natural encourager and cheerleader. Like, I can see sometimes the potential in people even, before they can, and that's just something I love, and so I hope people remember me for that.
Yeah, that's such a great question. I have a friend, his name's Jeff. He's written some books, and he always talks about that. We're like, right now we're writing our obituary.
Okay, understand what you're talking about?
Yes, like our lives are our obituary, right? And so view your life and your decisions and how you make them, that we're currently writing our obituary. And mine's not some big like, whoa, it's just like, man, that guy got it right.
Yeah.
It's like, he cared for his family, took care of his family, and circle of dear friends. It's nothing mind blowing. It's he got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I want to have some fun with you guys. Very quickly with the squeaky chair. We need to get some more WD-40. So just kind of rapid fire, like
Yeah.
first thing that comes to mind, right?
Okay.
What's your favorite date in Roswell?
Pure.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's
Yeah.
like
What do you guys
casual
get
day.
there? What's the best thing that you ordered?
Share fajitas.
Guacamole, skinny love margaritas.
Yes.
On the rocks with salt.
Okay.
Maybe tahini.
And our
sometimes.
favorite server is Katie.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice. If Katie's not there, it's not a great day.
It's bad. We love her. She's the best. I'm gonna recruit her to sell real estate.
We are. She's super.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yes.
So we're in the South, so everybody cheers for football. Who's your football team?
Yes. Go
Go
dogs.
dogs.
Okay. You can't say the Bible with this, but what's, because we acknowledge that that's the best book that you've ever read. However, what other book would you say is the best book that you've read?
You should have said you can't say the Bible or MREA.
Oh, yeah, you can say that.
I feel like I have to say MREA.
That's the answers here.
That's such an interesting, so for me, I think it's the first one that comes to mind is Dave Ramsey, Total Money Makeover. And why is because we read it when we were like newly married, and I don't think we knew anything about money. I mean, no one had taught us about money. And although I don't subscribe to like every single thing that he teaches, it set this like very firm foundation about debt for us. And we talk about it all the time. I'm so grateful that we read that book. I think we listened to it actually in the car on the way somewhere.
Did you do financial peace? Did you
We didn't.
that?
We didn't even go through it. I mean,
Yeah.
I just was like, well, here's what he says. So, I made a plan, and it really shaped like our foundation for finances, like very early in our marriage. And it helped us understand debt, and it just, I feel like it kept us out of trouble that like we just didn't know better. And then the second book I would say, which is funny because they disagree, would be Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
So I love financial, like investing, like that's kind of what I love to read about. That's sort of I love that side of things. I love math.
Good.
Yes, and I don't know if you all are familiar with Peter Attia. He is, he's a former cancer surgeon at Johns Hopkins. He wrote a book called Outlive that has rocked my world, and it's all about not just extending your life span, but extending your health span. And it's really rich and complicated, and there's a lot of data in there. I've probably read it 3 times, and he's a podcaster as well. It's it'll just Outlive will change the way you think about a lot of things in your life. So
Yeah,
yeah, if
haven't
you
read
ask me next year, I might have a different favorite book,
Yeah.
but right now Outlive is like, that's where I'm living.
So you
yeah.
didn't eat the Krispy Kreme donuts. Yeah.
Not today.
Okay. How do people win with you? You got a lot of people now in leadership, right? That you're serving them and they also want to get to know you. So how do people win in your world?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that fills us up the most is seeing you succeed. We, we had a conversation, Andrew,
Oh, yeah.
he's with another broker now, but he told Jaycie the other night, wherever y'all are going, I'm gonna go there. And that is like, cause he said, you guys believe in me.
That's
You
what
know?
he said. I just need somebody to believe in me. It made us feel so like
Yeah,
excited.
I think seeing you all succeed is probably our number one wish. We wouldn't have stepped into this otherwise, so you guys win is a huge win for us. Do you have something else to add to that, or?
I mean, we just, no, I mean, just, we can't wait to like get in relationship with everybody here. So I think just, communication and relationship and
Yeah,
authentic relationships, I think.
yeah,
I love that.
winning together,
Mhm.
definitely.
So you're going to family reunion in like 8 days or 10
Yes.
days or whatever. What is your focus going to family reunion? Because y'all actually haven't been to family reunion before, so you have no idea what you're about to get into. But
Maybe that's
in
good.
your short list, right? What are the things that you might want to seek out or go to breakouts on? Like, what are you focused on? Have you thought about that?
Yeah. I mean, number one for us, we're focused on connection. There's a lot coming from Roswell, so it'll be super fun to connect with you guys out there in Vegas. Denise is also teaching a class on profit share that I'm very excited to see. But connection and really learning. I mean, I think understanding KW culture, understanding how other market centers are operating, winning, those are the big things.
Yeah, leadership. And then I definitely want to just get in there and learn some things on the agent side too, that we can bring back. To help agents as well that can be there.
How many of you have been to family reunion before? So you got a lot of experience in here. So make sure that you give them good advice around what their experience is going to be, right? What should they can't miss? What should they be doing? What should they be thinking as they're going out there to Las Vegas?
Comfortable shoes.
That's good to know. Comfortable shoes, a lot of walking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's a Starbucks right across the street. What's your Starbucks order?
Black coffee, mine's boring.
Mine's more too. Now, if I'm,
It's because of the book, Peter.
Oh,
Attia.
yeah. Now, if I'm dragging a little bit for whatever reason, maybe not a great night's sleep, but nitro.
Yeah, cold brew?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, those are good.
That will straight shoot you into the stratosphere.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing you probably won't like my next question. What's your comfort food or what's the candy or what dessert or whatever? What do you go to? What's the thing that you absolutely love, but you don't have it that often?
Yeah.
Mine is embarrassing because it's like the kid sour, just kid candy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't need the chocolate. Like, I just want like, what is in your Halloween
Yeah.
bucket? Yes.
That's our jam.
like nerd clusters. I mean, just like the worst of the
Yeah,
worst.
it's nasty looking
It's
stuff.
something, yeah, so it's very strange, but yes.
Mine's very boring, just chocolate of any
Yeah.
kind.
Okay.
There's, yes.
All right.
I love.
So if you didn't like their answer for how do you win with them, you did hear what they'd like. That's a better way, maybe. We're so excited to have y'all here, we really are, and it's, I know there's gonna be tough times, there's gonna be great times. I think you guys are the kind of people, first of all, I wanted them to see that side of you. Because they're gonna learn what kind of a leader you are, like I said, by the way you behave. Anything else you want them, if we're giving a commercial for your next team meeting, which would be next Tuesday, right? Before going away to family reunions, what do they need to come back for?
Yeah.
What's next for Roswell? What should they be excited about?
Yeah, I think I'm not like a word of the year type person where, hey, it's 2025, this is my word of the year. A lot of people are, and I think that's great. For whatever reason, this year, I'm very focused on gratitude and growth. And when I'm talking about gratitude, I'm like, literally, we are alive today. Let's start our day there. Like, what a gift that is. And then in addition to that, like growth is a choice, right? And I want to choose that together as a market center. And whether that's growing, obviously we all want to grow our business, but we want to grow personally, relationally, maybe it's exercise, maybe you're trying to change your habits with eating. But I think in 2025, where we're headed is a place of growth driven from our posture of gratitude. And we'll share a lot more of that kind of next week, but
Mhm.
I love it. Aren't they cool?
Yeah.
So we don't have a ton of time, but we could go probably until 12 o'clock. Any questions for Nate and Jaycie here? Nicole?
Not a question, but let me scratch the butt. Bold. Not a question, it's a statement.
Yeah.
I've been in the Roslyn Market Center off and on since 2003, 4, when Denise was here. Haven't seen a lot of people come in with wanting to give a vision. I am a very strong person myself and don't like when leadership vacillates. And I appreciate you already setting the tone to tell us that you're gonna cast the vision. And I just texted Denise and said, okay, I'm sold.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So thank you so much for coming in there and setting the tone and casting the vision. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Else?
Hi, added that in.
Yeah, please.
So I was part of the interview process for Nate and I'll be careful not to mention any names, but we were interviewing 2 candidates because we've had a couple of vacancies and a team leader. And we met with a person who'd been with KW for over like 10 to 15 years. And then we had Nate following up that. And somehow Nate felt like he'd been with KW for 30 years compared to the person who's already been here. So I know that we haven't got to see the leadership side of it. I'm so excited for y'all to see that next week. This dude's KW, he doesn't know it yet.
I think he knows it.
He knows.
thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We have to go in order here.
Yeah.
I'm excited about y'all being here. And you're gonna sort of lay out the vision next week, is that? it's exciting.
Yes,
Yay.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
What else?
Well, we're going in order.
And everyone's on that.
So I'm excited about, this change and meeting you guys and meeting Nate for the first time. I know Jaycie since my first bowl.
Yes.
8 years ago.
I mean,
And I'm surprised Jaycie didn't throw Sarah under the bus about leaving, because that would have been the answer. It was Sarah's fault.
totally wrong.
Should've just said that.
It's like we realized it together, we were like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we done.
It's all right. Everybody-
Yes, that was a good bold
It was.
class. Susan Corley was
Was
in
in
that
this room?
class. I was, Sarah was in that class. It was all-
Yeah. Y'all did bold in this room?
In this
We
room.
did.
Wow.
Mhm.
That was VA, right?
Nine,
For Andy.
10 years ago. It was the year that you and Leslie took over the GLT.
It was just Roswell. Was it just our office?
Yeah, we were sardines in this room. It's great.
Yeah, I bet you
Yeah,
were.
it was awesome. I mean, really, some of my, obviously, Les's friends came from that class.
Yeah.
Been great.
Obviously, you're gonna have plenty of time with Nate and Jaycie, and I think what's just as encouraging to me, and we talked for a while last night, and I told both of them, I said, for the next 45 days, I just really want you to get to know the people. I just want you to, take the time, right, to understand what it is. What do you guys want? Like, what do you want out of Roswell? How can we make this the best experience possible? I don't expect you to know even what great looks like. That's okay. All the answers are in this room. You just have to ask the questions, right? And then you create the action plan and go after it. So the first step is you gotta make sure you have the right people in the right seats, and then you gotta go execute. So more with them, and more individual time with them, and more group time with them. Denise, you have.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of spending some time on the phone with Nate over the weekend, and here's what I learned. He is humble and extremely learning based, and really, really has a passion for people that I have not seen in a very, very long time. And I think we are just incredibly blessed to have that kind of. Jaycie and I have known each other for a long time, but I got to know Nate on a different personal level this weekend, and I could not be more excited. I mean, I almost tear up at the thought of the conversation and the questions and the passion that I heard from that conversation. And I am thrilled to have this leadership in Roswell. So thank you both for pouring into what we all know and love here and taking our legacy further, because I appreciate that more than probably anybody in this room.
Thank you. Thank you for pouring into them.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, everybody good? Anybody crying or dying?
Well,
Right,
and I was just gonna add, I feel like if y'all, y'all are already in alignment with people around you, but as a couple working together,
Mhm.
like, everybody would ask, like, how is it like to work together? But how is it? I highly recommend, like, our marriage has never been better because you grow together.
Yes.
And you're gonna get to experience, not just come home and tell your spouse about all the great things you've learned at family reunion. You're there together. Like, it's just a more fun, experience that you're about to have because you're doing it together.
Yeah.
The hard days are a little easier, and the better days. are even
You'll both want to drink at the same time.
better.
Really gonna be aligned. It's gonna be really aligned.
That's where pure comes in.
You can just give us a call too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be there.
That's right.
That's great. Thank you. And if you guys tuned out for most of what we said up here, just hear me say thank you
Mhm.
for being in business and choosing Roswell as your market center. Our intent is to serve you guys and grow together. So I don't know if people are watching on Zoom. Laura Donna's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
In South
Laura Donna's
Africa.
out there.
Yeah, hi, Laura Donna. But any of you watching like online, thank you. I think I'm looking at you right now. Thank you for choosing to be in business with us here. We our goal is to serve you and grow together.
Yeah, we're excited.
Love it. All right, gang. Thank you. Raven, we'll let Raven take it from here. She's right in front of me. Raven, thank you so much. Can we give it up for Raven? I got the slides, everything was done, and I was like, am I doing all this? No, I'm doing, I was like, thank goodness. Amazing. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
And can I
thank
just
you.
say, I have worked with Jaycie bringing her on and everything like that with the onboarding and everything, and just the working with them in that process. And just seeing the humility and grace there and the type of people they are. I worked with Nate when he came to our team meeting and spoke about mental health awareness, and I'm super excited.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. we get Mr. Derek Harrington up here. Guys, we did a little different today. We're gonna go out there and have lunch after team meeting, but Mr. Derek, thank you for bringing us lunch today.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you. I wish they let me go first because that's gonna be a hard act to follow, but thank you very much. So I'm Derek Harrington. I'm with Roof It Forward. This is the website. We'll go over that in a second. But we've been here off and on over the years. We're trying to get better about going to our lesser known, or the offices that we've used less. So we're trying to get better about that. So I'll be here 3 or 4 times this year. I'm gonna try to come to meetings a few times a month to try to check in with everybody. But if you don't know us, Roof It Forward is a roofing contractor that's been in business for about 20 years now. We primarily do roofing and gutters. We are very faith focused and we believe in doing the right thing all the time. We are Roof It Forward for about the past 10 years of our business, because we donate a portion of every job to children's cancer causes in the different markets that we're in. And I think it shows there, we hit over $500,000 this year. So we're very proud of that. So I know I don't have a lot of time to talk, so I wanted to try to jump into something that I thought would help you guys quite a bit. A lot of times when we come to these meetings, we just reiterate the same thing, who we are, how we can help you. But I kind of want to get a little bit more concrete and something that, a tool that you can use that will help you tremendously. As you know, the market's getting better, which means it's getting better for us. Myself, my team, my company, we have a very symbiotic relationship with realtors. So when you guys do better, we do better. Probably my team, probably half our business comes from real estate transactions. So we deal with that a lot. So we understand your problems, they become our problems. So we're trying to get rid of that for you. So what I want to do is show you. I just left everybody a card. I didn't want to give you a bunch of brochures and everything that you would lose and have to keep track of, because I know, trust me, I'm the same way. So if you go to our website, roofitforward.com, and click on the Pink Panther, this will give you an instant roof quote that you can get within 10 seconds. So if you have a buyer or a seller, you go to a house and you see it's an old 3-tab, missing shingles, you know it's not going to get insured, you know it's going to have to be replaced. This will give you a price that's pretty close. So that way, when you go into negotiations, you have something.
That's nice.
So that being said, so this is one that I just quoted today.
Would it let you know if it would even be covered? Because sometimes the roof may be too old and the insurance company may not even cover.
So it won't tell you the age of the roof. So that's something you have to get disclosure or your seller knows, or if you just look at it, right? So right now, we're seeing about 15 years is the average. The insurance companies don't want to cover anymore. I just spoke to a realtor and their client that just had a deal blow up because the roof, nobody looked at it, they didn't call anybody, and it just went into a mess. So type in the address. We have most of Georgia covered. So anywhere that you guys probably sell or buy will be included. It's not gonna, you just wanna make sure that the roof map is close to the roof map. It's not gonna be exact. Then you can go down. Just say, see my price. Sarah. And then all I ask that will help me keep everything, everything separated is after your last name, you'll just hit hyphen and type in my name. So that way, when it goes to the office, because it goes to the office as a lead, and they'll see it, they'll send it to me, and I can reach out and I'll say, hey, I saw you looked at a roof. You need it repaired, you need to look at it, you need an estimate, you need a more, how far along in the process are you?
Everybody look away. Don't look at the personal email.
So when it pulls up, it will give you a range of shingle options. And as a roofing contractor, we can do anything that's on a roof, right? Metal, TPO, shingles, commercial, anything. So it'll give you Supreme, which is 3-tab, Oak Ridge, which is mid-grade, architectural, Duration, which is the higher grade architectural. Designer shingles, it also gives you shape. So you're selling a house in Roswell or Milton, these places that have wood shaped roofs, so it'll give you an average cost of that. And it also has the Vinci shake, which is the synthetic shake. So people that have an old wood shake that don't want to do wood again because it's gonna have to be replaced again. Put on this synthetic shake, it's a much better option. And then also gutters. So for your traditional residential average house, the roof you're gonna want to go with is the duration, not the designer. So when you're putting in a quote, you know, we're trying to develop a quote to do some negotiations. Use this range for the duration shingles, 22, 825 to 27. We put a pretty high waste factor in here to account for hip, ridge, flat roofing, stuff that this program doesn't pick up. So it gives you, but it's still pretty close. So the house that I quoted, this exact address, I quoted on this shingle with a 25-year warranty, came in at $22,000. So right on the low end. So,
And Derek, we'll probably have you back to teach a class on
Yeah,
this
yeah,
as well.
that was all I wanted to say.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions for Derek?
Thank you.
No? Thank you for lunch today. Thank you.
Like again, that's my number on there. Feel free to call. Thank you.
All right, guys, and I'm gonna call Director of
Yes.
Innovation and Technology.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Do it, right? Sam Jackson up here. Did you guys all get a special email this month from Mr. Sam Jackson?
Yeah, actually, if not, please let me know. We're doing everything we can to make sure that my database is current. But we know that social media is one of those things that we're always working on to improve. So we have a newsletter that comes out every month of just our top social media prompts you can kind of plug and go. I saw Marquia here. I know Marquia is one of the folks that's like jumped on board with that. Oh, Marquia, yeah, hey. These are great things. So like if you're like, all right, my 2025 goal is to get more involved with social media, but you don't know where to start. We took the thinking out of it for you, which is kind of great.
Yeah, so guys, remember, he's hit the easy button for you. This is a great thing to set up, do your 36 touching command. Lucy and Sam have amazing classes on that. And then also use this to implement your social media. Hit that easy button, take this off your plate. He's already got it set up for you.
And then I don't know what the next slide's gonna be. Yeah, okay.
It's gonna be a video.
Show hands, who attended family reunion last year or in general? Who got to experience the app crashing for the KW events app where you're like, I have no idea how to get around Las Vegas, which is crazy. This is one of the cool benefits that like about 60 years ago, Keller Williams said, hey, we're gonna take a stand, we're gonna stop buying off the shelf technology, we're gonna build these things in person because we have more control when we do that. And I'm really, really like grateful to add that this year for family reunion, Keller Williams decided to no longer use our third-party vendor for our events. We actually built it inside the Command Mobile app. So we'll make sure this video gets around, but for those attending Las Vegas and family reunion this year, there will not be a KW events app. You can use the KW mobile app, the one that we use for our TM on a daily basis. There's a little hamburger button in the very bottom right-hand corner that you can see. That's going to open up to where you can actually schedule your entire agenda for Keller Williams. So this is really important because number one, this gives us more control over the quality of what goes out from KW. And to make sure if there are any bugs, we have a team that can fix what we go in place here. It's just convenient that you don't have to have a separate app anymore. But really exciting, you can kind of go through and plan your entire agenda. So I don't think we really need to play that, but for those of you who are going to family reunion, please make sure you have that app. And then my last shameless plug for today is just make sure that you guys hang around for classes today. I know that you have a lot of options, particularly today with Michael and Gray class, but we're teaching Lead Gen Like a Millionaire this afternoon after the team meeting at 1 o'clock, and I'd love to have you there if you're available.
Thank
you.
Family.
You guys will get that video with the slides that kind of shows you how to utilize that app so that you can schedule your classes and make sure you get the most out of the event. All right, we're gonna call Onward Home Mortgage up.
I think I'm speaking that, I will.
Yeah, and you just want to do a hello and talk about some of your services?
Hello, everyone. I'm not gonna say something, I'm gonna say the short part. But apart from this office, Raven, Aaron, Melody, Lee, right?
You,
Sam's group.
And you.
you,
I tried.
you.
So with that said, y'all, they're here, this is their home, it's my home, and I'm just excited.
Kathy, I said I wasn't gonna cry today. Thank you so much, guys. I just hope that you guys give Nate and Jaycie a chance to meet all with you, hear about your business, do some one-on-ones with you, and be open to their growth. They have at the market center. Yep.
Yeah.
We'll send it out with the team meeting slide today, but it's, you know, it's a great opportunity for you to get new ideas and new perspectives from the different perspectives they focus on. All right, we have some special guests from O'Kelly and Sorehead today. Do we want to have Kern and Edie, you want to come up?
Well, we're not coming up. I know everybody's ready to eat, so we were gonna say the thing, though, Kern, so you did cry, but I cried every day. But I wanted to give kudos to Kathy. She took some of our young attorneys in today to really get them to the other side. So this is such a team. Like, it's just nice to buy right. And so, congrats, welcome. So glad to have you. Kern and I appreciate all of you all and support that you give us. And I'm so glad to be here. See everybody in Vegas. There's our happy hour. Thank you, Kathy, for today, for our attorneys and educating them for also what all that they need today. How many of us? Six. Six coming up.
Wow.
Them, and they're all so exciting, so amazing. So they're gonna start reaching out to y'all too.
Yeah, so more attorneys to help you with your closings, right? We love that. All right, guys, I didn't see Kelly Lukin today, but just so that you know, she comes with her package, right? She has the free listing coverage and the home relock program that your buyers can use to rekey the home. And you can give it as a closing gift. So make sure to reach out to Kelly for that. Georgia Natural Gas as well. Remember that you guys get a discount for your clients when you use Georgia Natural Gas. And you also get a credit from them when you use them and your clients choose to use them. Equity, Andrew Yuki is there partnering with Captive Vitale and Tammy Mills on the Onward Home Mortgage to get your clients the most equity out of their home so they can purchase a new home. And then we have Chandler, thank you for sticking around, from Diane Endeavors. Come on up.
Oh, I can stay back here again. I know everyone really wants to eat and there is no way I can follow up on all the lovely words that have been said, but I'll just.
You with anyone for a referral, no matter how.
It's like. But just a reminder, I know family reunions coming up, so if you guys need any like fun little things, some of your own business cards, or like a fun little like marketing idea to hand out, come talk to me. You guys know I will talk your ear off about printing and mailing any day of the week, so. That's all.
Markia, do you have anything to give us about TCS, property management? It's a great property management company here.
More information, come to me at the meeting, and I can give you all the flyers and just it out to your clients. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys, we have Imran Ahmad. Who wants to make some money this year? Right? Who wants to beat their goals this year? Right? This is the person to help you do it, along with this team back here. Imran Ahmad is your business coach for the office. You can call or email Imran to set up personal appointments with him to get your business running and set your goals and have some accountability around those goals. We have some great events for you guys. You might recognize some of the faces on here, right? Remember that we have those daily calls except for Tuesday, where you can figure out what's going on with the market stats. It's kind of like your news every morning, so come on out and check those out. We also have a great class after team meeting today. Like Sam said, stick around for that class, learn how to lead gen like a millionaire, right? And join us for Level Up for Your Business with Andy Peters on Wednesday. If you guys want to take out your phones now, just scan that QR code, then you can make sure that you have the link. And it will go out in the team meeting slides as well. And Andy, I'm gonna call on you in the hallway. What is the topic this week?
So we're talking about wealth building. We're talking about how do you use your real estate license for more than just buying and selling real estate? But how do you go after a big nest egg, right? What do you do? Like, what are the different options that are available to people? So we've got agents from all over the organization, some focused on multifamily, fix and flips, long-term holds, commercial. Mark Ellsworth from Roswell is going to be on that call. So, yeah, join us for an hour at a time. I'm sure you'll get some great ideas and hopefully some wealth building tips to get going.
Thank you, thank you. All right, we also have a land mastermind this week with Jan Alacardi, so be sure to come for that. And for those of you in Ignite, we'll have Ignite this Friday, session 7, find and win buyers. And for those of you who just want a refresher on working with buyers and you're not signed up for Ignite, you can come and audit this class for free. It's a great way to refresh your business and working with buyers in the basics. We have tech orientation with Lucy on Mondays and Fridays. Lucy's in person at the office on Mondays if you need tech help. And then office orientations with me on Mondays as well. For January and February, while we're doing Ignite, it will be on Zoom. So if you need help with that, just come see me and we'll get you set up. All right, guys, I'm gonna skip over this for a second. I want to give you guys your inspiration for the week. You don't need to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step, right? Does anybody have new business, any buyer or seller needs before we close out the meeting? Go ahead, Jack.
Hi. I have, a couple of listings. Are you gonna pull them up or just?
So we're not gonna pull them up, but if you want to, talk about what your listings are coming up, and kind of a little background about them, so that if anybody has a buyer, they might have a match for you.
Okay. I have 6450 Abergate Drive. It's in Mableton. It's a townhome community. It's a gated community. That's going for 225. It's a nice cozy roommate plan, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2.5 baths. And it's coming soon online right now, but it goes live on Thursday. I have 35, that's in Mableton. I have 35, 26 Shepherd's Park. That one is indicator. It's a 2-bedroom, 2 bath. It's very spacious. Daylight coming in, it's on the 3rd level. That's on MLS also. It's coming soon now, going, I think it's been like maybe tonight, like yesterday night, tonight. And then I have a mobile home in Aqua. It's 6359 Bells Ferry Road. I'm also new to the mobile home, but it was an exciting project to do. Mobile homes actually don't have a regular title, like a house title. They actually have a car title. So that was like an exciting project to do. And then the land is leased. So you're only purchasing the mobile home, but it sits on the land. And funny enough, the comps and the values of your mobile home depends on where it's sitting on. And so in this case, this is a very lucrative community. It has 2 pools, basketball court. Most surprising thing I found out, people actually rent mobile homes for almost up to 2,300. Which is what most of us, whatever, pay for our mortgage, 2,300. So I have 1 that is on the market right now. 2 are coming soon because they have people in them, so you can purchase them as investors. The other 2, the rent is like 2,000. They come in double side. Double side is like wider, a wider rectangle. Almost a square, I can say square, and then the single sided is like a long rectangle. So the other 2 are single sided. One will be 80, the other one is 75. Those ones will come to the market. Once I figure out how we're doing viewings, so people are just going to purchase them as investors. So those are good things to invest in. What else? I have
Jackie Ollie's busy this month. So yes, Jackie, after the TV, you talk about more of her listings as well.
I have 2 pieces of land in LJ. If you're familiar with Big Canoe, the way they were marketing Big Canoe, the pieces of land I have in LJ are also in a subdivision called High River. Yes, it's called High River. It's very nice. They're building different kinds of homes, $1 million. Anything that you want, they can build it for you out there. So it's really nice. It's the country. In fall, It's amazing to be there. They have a very nice river running through the community. They have a clubhouse too. So that's a very good investment. If you're interested in building, if you're also like, don't know, land gains value very quickly. Because the person who bought it, I think bought it for 30 something. It's been a year. And he's trying to offload it and now it's almost, we're selling it almost twice the price.
Yeah, so guys, get with Jackie after team meeting, if any of those properties sound like something that would be great for your buyer. Does anybody else have any open houses or caravan before we finish up? No?
I need open house. I need people to open house for me. This weekend, I'm doing 2 open houses for each one of my listings. Or you go see them online, so if anybody, I need help with that.
Okay. All right, guys, I hope you guys have a great week. Make sure you stop by and introduce yourself to Nate and Jaycie and have a great day and stick around for Sam's class, right?